So I can only upload 12 videos onto YouTube. Anyway, so yeah, I definitely agree that education is a huge part of it. And here's my little paper. Okay, so what direction would you have the next U.S. president take on global development for the U.S.?
Take it away, Ben.
Global development for the U.S.?
Yeah.
Personally, I believe that free trade across all the nations is really healthy for everyone. But I would, for the next U.S. president, would hope that he'd be more cooperative and understanding of countries, their agendas, and in improving their lives instead of imposing our view of what improvement is for them.
Okay. Do you have any?
Precisely.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree because we tend to I think we have a problem with making people feel kind of inferior to us, and that's not what we should be doing. Just because we're better off than a lot of countries, that doesn't mean we have to like stick them further in the hole that they're in. A lot of people said that in my class, said that the U.S. should be helping other countries, but I feel like we already have our own problems that we need to be worrying about, and we're so in debt, and we don't have as good of relationships with other countries as we should, and I think we should be focusing on relationships with other countries and that before we can even help other countries.
Another thing with helping other countries is that it's that if you go in and you try to change things, it's not going to do anything. So that's kind of where the education thing comes in again, is that if you're going to go into other countries and try to change things, you need to really educate them so the people are in charge, and so the people can then make a change. But the U.S. going in and changing things isn't going to do anything, because they're just going to revert back to their traditions and what they've been used to.
And what are the problems that you think we need to fix in the U.S.?
Within our own country, the debt. The debt is a huge thing.
Yeah.
I think we really need to get that under control before we can go out and do other things.
Yeah, that's good. I agree. It's one of the first things that I thought of when I thought of problems. And also one of the thinking about the Millennial Development Goals about gender equality and stuff. I still don't think we talked about. We watched some videos on gender equality in the U.S. and we definitely have it. And people are we're working more towards it. Helping it, more women are getting higher paid jobs and things like that. But then we also have higher divorce rates and things like that. And so instead of there's more equality for women in the workplace, but there may be less equality in the home, and there's less parenting for their children and things like that. And I feel like the U.S. makes it seem like it's looked down upon to just be a stay-at-home mom, and I don't think it should be, because that's a huge job, and they raise their kids into becoming what all the people that work in our country. And so one of the videos we saw talks about how we should be investing our money into the mothers, because they're the ones raising their kids and educating them. And I think we still have inequality in that way, and we still have racism and things like that. And what do you guys think about that?
About gender inequality?
Because people, when we were talking about other countries, people seem to think it's only in other countries, and that the U.S. has made, the U.S. is doing really well with it, but we still have huge problems with it. And one thing I remember, and this isn't looking down on anyone, but I remember a friend saying that she just wasn't attracted to guys of a different race, and it really like made me think. I was like, why? And she like couldn't give me an answer, and I don't think that's racism in any way. So, but I just thought it was interesting that we still have this mindset that white people go with white people and things like that. And so I just, I don't know. And I'm not saying that I'm totally like perfect person with this either. So, what do you guys think on just inequality in general, whether it's the gender inequality or racial inequality?
Well, I think in terms of like politically, gender inequality is has been like largely eradicated from U.S. culture. I think of Arabic and other countries who the women don't have rights to property, to vote, and so I think it is like we've made huge improvements there. But it's different with those views of motherhood and women being working in the home, because you can't really make policies that change that culture. I think it just has to change incrementally with education and greater understanding. So.
Okay. Good. And I think the last thing that I'm just gonna discuss a little bit is the like progress that can be made, at least in my country. And I already talked about it a little bit. Like I would work on the government first because you have to start with that in order to fix the other problems. And I would definitely also go with education because once you get to education and you give people this opportunity to get at that level, to give them more power with the government and stuff, they can do something to change the government or actually like stand up to their government or whatever they need to do. And they can also improve the health of their country. And I think the reason that we do so well in the US is we have so many different talents and we have really good education, and so we have all these people that are helping with the medical field and with politics and stuff to help our country, and I think that the same should be done in other countries. And that's all I have. So if you guys have any other thoughts.
Nope.
I guess I think the reason the U.S. is so successful is because our democracy allows person's genius to actually help the country and progress. And I think the country like Jordan, who in 2011 had they put massive pressure on their I guess it's a monarchy, to allow democratic elections of like officials. And I think progress like that is big. It doesn't necessarily need to be a revolution, but as freedom increases, I think innovation and the quality of lives for persons will increase.
Definitely. Okay. Well, I think we're good then.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, guys.